Hi guys. I had my genealogy consultation with Mike today. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. He has a lot of information that will probably benefit you guys. And if you ever get a chance, just you give him a chance. You know, he's a great guy, and I believe he's trustworthy. Very very trustworthy.
That's what she was fighting. But the movie wants to paint it like, oh, there will not be no slaves in my kingdom. What it really should say is, we don't want y'all up our slave money, so we gonna team up with the Dutch to kick out the Portuguese.
They would use to buy weapons and other stuff. So from the very beginning, Netflix, I don't know what the context of that line that she's saying is, but that doesn't sound good.
She fearlessly defended her kingdom against European power.
The king's under threat.
The king. I mean, yes, she did defend the kingdom against European power. Specifically, she fought the Portuguese and she teamed up with the Dutch in order to be able to do so, because the Dutch and the Portuguese were constantly fighting one another at this time in the late 1500s going into the 1600s. Going into the early 1600s, because they were constantly competing over territory and trade rights in the area. Both were really small nations, but their trade empires were huge and they were competing over that.
King is always under threat.
Slavery threatened to decimate a continent.
Slavery threatened to decimate a continent. Not exactly, no, sort of. The continent was always fighting itself over slavery from the beginning. It's not that it threatened to decimate the continent. It already had been. For the majority of African kingdoms that were on the West Coast, slavery was one of the key reasons as to why the kingdoms were able to exist in the first place.
Come on, so when Umar Johnson and all the pan goofies want to talk about us Aboriginals or pretendians, and they want to be so prideful about certain select moments in African history, when they want to big up these kings and these African kingdoms were not rich because of gold or diamonds or cobalt. It was because of their slaves they traded to foreigners. And when he wants to call us wabos and pretendians, God damn it, there ain't no black Aboriginal folks that enslaved their own. Out of the thousands of tribes, 5 got beaten down, assimilated, and they called them civilized tribes. And some of those civilized tribes held some slaves. 5 out of the thousands of tribes, after hundreds of years of conflict, acquiesced. Meanwhile, Africans, under their own accord, under their own fruition, have been trading slaves since the beginning of time. But we're supposed to adopt some fake African identity and try to exalt Africa, when Africa's been doing some fuck shit for centuries.
Wars, the Zulu Wars, the Ethiopians even beat them. The Zulus even beat them. The white man had to fight for almost 100 years before he could finally take Africa.
The Seminoles fought. We fought as well. The Haitians fought.
You're not no Seminole. Listen.
We fought just as well.
Okay, so you a Seminole. But how are you a Seminole when you can't give me the names of your 16 great? So you're sure you're Seminole?
No,
how are you an African when you can't give us the names of your 16 great? It goes both ways.
But you don't even know the names of your 16 great grandparents. How did you?
Blackfoot. We're Blackfoot and Osage.
Okay, you're Blackfoot and Osage.
Yes, we are.
How many of your 256 7 times great grandparents are Blackfoot and Osage?
I can only go back to my great.
And here's the funny part. Here's the funny part
Is that you stay trying to insult us and force feed false notions of African identity. You trying to call us pretendians and tell us what we not. But we're the folks that have actually done our genealogy, and we're the folks that actually have our citizenship intact, and we're the folks who actually know our family's lineage. But oh no,
I'm so glad that, you know what I'm saying, I even, you know what I mean, experienced this. I'm glad I experienced you from, you know what I mean, enlighten me from the internet to, you know what I mean, online, getting one-on-one in depth, giving me a lot of information that I can take back to my people as well. And hopefully we could both get everything meshing with everything with the lineage and everything with the genealogy. This is no scam. This is all real. This is a real homeboy that put it down he mean what he say. He got receipts and he put it down. He stands on business. Straight up. One love.
We African because Umar says so. Because that makes Umar and his pals feel good about themselves. Okay. All right.
Your Blackfoot ancestors and your Osage ancestors have African ancestry as well. That's the ridiculous part. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Right here from this
yes,
land.
they
this
do.
Is our land. You can be from Africa and fight from Africa, but I'm gonna fight for America. You can go.
Listen to me. Your identity is false. Your identity is false.
No.
Every African on the planet came from Africa. Anybody who tells you you was in America and didn't come from Africa is a lie, and they cannot prove it. The issue is y'all hate yourself.
No,
y'all hate being black. Y'all hate being African. And so what you're doing is you are claiming.
Peep the gaslighting, y'all. Peep the gaslighting. Oh, it's not that you guys are really Aboriginal. It's that you guys hate yourselves. Okay. We got the receipts, y'all. We got the receipts. Black Aboriginals been in America since settlers first came over. Peep the book, Philosophical and Antiquarian Aboriginal History of America. It's talking about a Spanish explorer called Vizcaino. And when Vizcaino went to the California coast, he had a Negro with him. He had a Negro guide from Africa. He had a Negro with him, and he was helping him interact with the natives. And it says right here, although America possesses some dark brown men approaching to be black, yet it has been almost universally believed that there were no Aboriginal blacks or Negroes found on this continent. But from considering the peculiar circumstances under which a black race was found in North America, I hold it more than probable that the common opinion is erroneous, aka, in plain English, most of us forever thought that there was no black natives, but actually, we realized there's black Aboriginals. Come on. It says, Torquemada says, the Californians showed no manner of surprise at the sight of some Negroes that accompanied Vizcaino on a voyage to this coast. If we scroll down to the bottom a little bit, it says that a Negro was ordered to distribute a biscuit to the Californians, to the natives, right? Hey, Negro, helping us Spanish explorers. You Negro, go give them natives a biscuit. Quote, the natives seemed greatly pleased at the sight of the Negro and signified to him that they lived in friendship and correspondence with a people of his color, and that not far from thence was a Negro village. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? But see, when you're faced with such facts, when you're faced with such truth, the way that Umar deflects away from that is, well, you know what? There were black Aboriginals, but they came from Africa way like 500,000 years ago. Oh, what proof do I have? Oh, none. It's just theories. Haven't you heard the out of Africa theory?
You're claiming an identity that somebody gave you on YouTube.
You don't love the land that you own.
Anything is.
And you Pan-Africans are claiming to be African because the Rothschild-backed education school system taught us we come from African slave boats, right? You think you're African because you grew up watching Roots, right? Okay.
Better.
You don't even live on.
Anything is better. Anything is better than being an African. So you will claim anything they give you.
This is this land.
You can't even name your ancestors though. You ain't gave me no names.
Going on, and you don't even love it.
Sister, can you give me some names of your ancestors?
Many know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a native Black American and a member of the Muskogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, go to nativeblackancestry.com to schedule a consultation.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British men. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners, raised up the children to worship their images, set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them, and this shit get way deeper than your pigment.